Welcome back. Today I got another fresh, so clean video. There's a ton of topics that I could just come up with in my mind, baseball content wise. I have not even scratched the surface at all. And so, as I mentioned in my previous video, 2 videos now per week, really up until the baseball season, and then I'll have like a game vlog, let's just say 1 week, and then a video like this, or 2 videos like this if I don't have a game vlog. So that's how the channel is going to be operating from here on out, as long as everything goes smooth. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. So today's video, we are going to go over which team that has never won a World Series is most likely to win next. And honestly, after looking at this list, I see a couple of similarities here. These teams actually are in contention and have been in contention recently, and they have a decent chance to end their droughts respectively here very soon in this decade. And so I'm going to give you my pick on who I think is most likely to win their first World Series, and then the least likely. So we're going to start off with San Diego. The Padres are the oldest team on this list that have never won a World Series. Their inaugural season was in 1969. It's been 54 years now going into 2023. It's a long time without winning a World Series. The longest on this list, and honestly they probably have the best chance to end that drought. There are 6 teams that have never won a World Series. I think the Padres have the best chance to end that drought. They have gone all in recently with this new ownership, trying desperately, really selling out to win the World Series. And that's fine if you never won a World Series, or in general it's okay to sell out to win a championship. Nothing wrong with that, but you will experience hard times later on. That's just what goes up must come down. And so the Padres are in a really good opportunity to win their first World Series. They knocked off the Dodgers, and we like to call Slay the Dragon right down in San Diego. So they have a really great chance, and we'll see what they do. The second team on this list that has never won a World Series came right after the Padres. In 1970, the Milwaukee Brewers have never won a World Series. 53-year drought, just 1 year shy of the Padres. A lot of losing going down in Milwaukee, and they've only had 1 World Series appearance. I should have mentioned the Padres have 2 World Series appearances in their franchise history. They've lost them both. Brewers have only appeared 1 time in the World Series back in 1982. It was a long time ago. The Brewers have came close recently. They battled the Dodgers in 2018, and the 7-game series was an amazing series. Really amazing series. I really enjoyed that series, having attended that series, and they came close, and that was about as close as they have been in a long while now. They did make the NLCS back in 2011, but I don't think that series went 7 games, and so they had a really great chance in 2018. The Dodgers did knock them off in Milwaukee. And right now the Brewers are kind of in like a limbo, kind of stuck in mediocrity here. I'm not sure which direction they're going in. Are they going to go for it? Are they not going to go for it? They really haven't spent much at all this offseason. And so I don't really give the Brewers a great chance to win. Following the Brewers in 1972, the Texas Rangers, now they had their 50th anniversary last year, so going in to a 51-year drought down in Arlington, Texas. And the Rangers came oh so close in 2011. Oh so close. I remember watching that game, 10 years old. I cannot count how many times they had the Cardinals down to the last strike. Literally the last strike, 1 strike away from winning the World Series, and they just could not finish it. And that we all know what happened. The Cardinals went on to win the World Series. And so the Rangers, they lost in 2010 to the Giants, lost in 2011 to the Cardinals. Those were the only 2 World Series appearances, and I was kind of shocked to see that. That was the only 2 times they made it. And right now, the Rangers haven't contended for a while now. Their last appearance in the playoffs was, I believe, 2016 or 2017. One of those, might be 2016, but it's been a long while for the Rangers to be good. They have a really good chance this year. I really want to see the Rangers do well. Honestly, they might be my second pick to make the World Series / win a World Series. They have a good team. It's just a matter of putting it together. The pieces are there, even in the farm system. As long as they put it together, I think they have a good chance with Bruce Bochy at the helm. Rangers, do not sleep on the Rangers. They have a really good chance to win their first World Series here in this decade. Let's just call it in the next 6-7 years. And the Rangers have a decent chance, so be on the lookout. Next team on this list is the Seattle Mariners, 1977 inaugural season. So what is that? That's about a 46-year drought. long time for the Mariners. In fact, the Mariners have never appeared in a World Series. Fun fact, they are the only team to never appear in a World Series. That is not good. That is not good. That honestly did shock me as well when I looked at it. Like, wow, this, because they've had good teams. Obviously, they have had really bad teams. It was 20 years, 21 years since they made a playoffs until this year. And but before that, they had decent teams, you know, Griffey and Ichiro, but they never made the playoffs, or they never really got to the World Series. Mariners, they have a good team. They have a good team. We all know they have a good team. But I like the Rangers just a little bit more as of right now for the future. And we'll see what the Mariners do. Then we go another 16 years later into the 90s. The Colorado Rockies come into the league. 93. So it's about 30 years now this year, 30th anniversary of the Colorado Rockies inaugural season. No World Series for the Colorado Rockies. They did appear in a World Series in 2007. They got swept by the Boston Red Sox. Magical run, obviously, but they have never appeared in a World Series since then. They haven't really been close either since then. They've had a couple of playoff appearances, but never deep runs. And the Rockies right now, I don't know. I don't know what the Rockies are right now. They're just also kind of like the Brewers, stuck in like a mediocre phase. And I do not see the Rockies winning a World Series anytime soon. And lastly, the last team to appear on this list is the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays, obviously a low budget team, as we all know, but are they really a low budget team because owners can spend, but they don't spend? But at any rate, the Tampa Bay Rays have appeared in a couple of World Series in 2008 with the Phillies and 2020 versus the Dodgers. They lost both times. The Rays, I mean, they've had more appearances than the Mariners, Rockies, Brewers. I mean, that's pretty impressive considering they're like the youngest team on this list and never won a World Series. So despite the fact that they are in a terrible stadium and the fact they don't spend much, they somehow managed to get to the World Series more than some of these other franchises that have been around way longer. And the Rays right now a little better than the Rockies and the Brewers. Am I going to put them as the most likely to win a World Series? No, I will not do that. But so they have a decent chance. As long as they're always in it, they do have a decent chance, and we know they have the ability to go on long playoff runs. And I wouldn't count the Rays out. So as I kind of hinted earlier, my most likely pick to win their first World Series next is going to be the San Diego Padres. Now, it's an easy answer. They are the most stacked, loaded team right now. But they are the most stacked, loaded team right now. They have a great chance to win their first World Series. My prediction, they win their first World Series in 2024. You heard it here first. San Diego Padres, 2024 World Series champions. Least likely to win the World Series in the next 7 years. I'm gonna go with the Rockies. I'm gonna go with the Rockies because I'm sorry, Rockies fans, if you are here, but the Rockies, until I see an ownership change in Colorado, I don't see them really going for it and continue. They've had, you know, they put together some good teams, but they're not just good enough to really be elite or make a playoff run. They're just mediocre. The fans fill out Coors Field, and that's about it. But I don't see the Rockies making a World Series run here in the next 7 years. They're my least likely team to win the World Series. So that being said, that's going to do it here on this video. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time.